Welcome, overthinkers. Hobbies. You know, these things we used to do with a passion, just for fun. Things like cooking, baking, painting, collecting things, riding a bike. There was no meaning behind that besides fun, besides joy, just for the fun of it. No thought about how could we better ourselves with it. No thinking about purely competition. I mean, some things, yes, but you know what I mean. No thought about how can I make money out of that. Hobbies used to be purely there for fun, for our amusement, for our joy, to really niche down, to really dig deep and nerd out about something. It did not have to make sense to anybody else besides yourself. It had to be not even made sense to you, unless it made you happy. That's the only thing. It just has to be fun to you. I mean, they were not there to make us money. Quite the opposite. Hobbies really cost a lot of money. They still do. They're money pit. You throw money at it because you're invested in that idea. For me personally, that used to be coffee. That was my first real niche down, dig really deep hobby. I did stuff before, but that one was it for me. I really hunted down different roasteries. Whenever I was somewhere, I tried to figure out where to get like a cool coffee from. And that was, I don't know, 15, 16 years ago. I don't even know, but long time ago, way before now. Now it's way more mainstream, way it's you go somewhere and there's probably a chain serving you good coffee. That was not the case. So I looked into, okay, where's that coffee from? How can I brew that? How can I make it better? How can I get more creative with it? And whenever friends were around, I served them coffee. I made coffee and I talked about it. And some of them were actually interested. It was not their hobby, but they could feel my passion for it. And they got, like for a better word, infested by it. And we talked about then how I made their coffee. And we drank it and I made another one. It was always on the edge of having way too much caffeine at 3 a.m. It was just my jam. I did what everybody always says. Turn your hobby into your job and never work a day in your life. I did that. I started working in the coffee industry as a barista. And for a long time, I retained my excitement for it. I talked about all the different things I could do with customers. I had a lot of fun creating these drinks, making people's day. In general, I think in the service industry, that's where the joy comes from. Besides also a lot of annoyance also that comes with working with the general public. I think everybody that ever done that knows that and will not now in understanding we're in this together. But I kept my spark. I kept my spark for my hobby, even though I worked in it. But the longer I worked in the coffee industry, the more I knew, the more my job relied on me knowing things about coffee, the less it felt like a hobby and the more it felt like a job. It became less of a, okay, let me search into this, let me really dig deep and read into it for half of a night because I really wanted to know. I still was curious about these things, But in the back of my head, I knew, okay, I have to know this because the customers expect that. My employer expects that. And then when I started my own coffee shop, the last years, there was barely anything left of the spark of joy for that topic. It got mudded out by everything else that came with it. Business decisions, marketing, employees, the rest of it. And I realized one day I don't have a hobby anymore. I don't have anything that sparks that joy because I never really cultivated it alongside coffee, because that was my my sole source of a going all in rabbit hole. And now looking back at it, I think the biggest take I can take from that is your hobbies should not make your money. Or no, let me rephrase that. Your first thought while you create something should not be, how can I make money out of that? It kills everything. It kills all the creativity. It kills all the joy. Think about it. If you like drawing and you do it for relaxation, and then before you start even drawing, you think about, okay, how can I monetize this? Will anybody buy this? It will add so much friction, because then out of nowhere, whatever you draw has to meet a certain standard. It has to meet expectations. You don't know what these expectations are, but you know you have to meet them. And that's impossible. And then you're almost too scared to even start. And that is what I realized. The other day, I went out with my wife and we did like a painting class for, like, I don't know the English word for it, aquarelle, probably is the same. And that was for absolutely nobody but ourselves. But in the beginning, I thought, like, okay, but everybody around me will maybe judge how I do this, and maybe I can even take a picture or a small video for this YouTube channel. And then I was like, no, what? What am I doing? Just start, whatever. This is my first time doing this. And I had so much fun. And we both had so much fun. The point is, you can, of course, monetize your creative works. You have to. If you want to make money as a creative person in any way, if you're a designer, if you're a painter, if you're an artist, if you're a musician, whatever it is, because in the end, we all have to make money. We all have to live. But while you create, that should be blocked out of your head. Money should not be a thing while you're creating. Afterwards, when whatever you created is done, you can think about, okay, what's the next steps? What comes now? What comes afterwards? Totally fine. Money is not the enemy in this. It's a thing that just exists in our world, and we need to use it to live. So that's just a given. We have to make money. But we should do it in a way that is not interfering with our fun, especially in hobbies we never intend to make money from. I think that is the two things. If our job is creative, money should not be an issue while we're creating. And for a hobby that is never meant to make us any money, leave it out. Don't think about it. Just live in the moment, really nerd out, really dig deep, and just see what happens. Have fun with it. Really keep this order alive. Like fun has to be first, always. And if you're living from what you're doing creatively, money comes afterwards, and the plan how to make money from it comes afterwards without interfering in the action. I think that's what we can all agree on. That's what I'm taking from this. It took me a long time, but I'm there. And happy you're here. Happy we did this together, and have a wonderful day. Take care.